on Friday morning, Wells Fargo reported a solid quarter with encouraging guidance, noting their net interest income, a very important statistic, should bottom this year before mounting a major comeback in 2025. And in response, the stock caught fire. That means profitability all the way down the line. I think this is a truly transformational moment for the big banks. Don't take it from me. Earlier today, we got a chance to speak with Charlie Scharf, the president and CEO of Wells Fargo. I already showed you the first part of the interview, but because this one is so important, we went overtime. So take a look at part 2. There's so much that you've done in life, but Visa, you just killed it. I remember meeting you with Visa. You were a little abrupt with me. That's okay. I've since gotten over that. But what I do want to know is why aren't you made a credit card. You planned it. That's core. Can you grow? Can you go buy the GM credit card? How about the Apple credit card? Are there credit cards that you just want to own right now that other people aren't doing anything with that you're much better at?
Listen, our credit card business is doing extraordinarily well. We've launched 9 new products, I think, since I've been here. When you look at our point of sales on cards, it's up well over 50%. We're doing a great job growing organically, and that's where we think the opportunity is. It's not about buying portfolios or looking at other things at this point. I mean, again, when you look at what your opportunity is, if you don't think you've got the organic opportunities, you do need to look elsewhere. That's not how we feel about where we are today. We just feel great about the opportunities that we have, and you see it showing up in our results.
Right, now you have special relationships. I have to believe that because you're on the board of Microsoft, that you want everyone to at least sample Copilot. Are they doing it?
We are introducing Copilot in a risk-based way across the company, and I do think that there's great opportunities for people to use Copilot.
Does it make it so that there's more man hours and you have more productive people, or do you just need fewer people with Copilot?
Listen, I think, again, day one, it is people become far more productive and able to do a whole lot more. It's like email. I mean, the idea of waiting 2 or 3 days to get a note versus getting something instantaneously, you get a lot more accomplished a lot more quickly. And I think the same thing is true with a lot of the benefits that exist in Copilot.
Business counsel, how do you feel about, just in general, the state of things in the country, where I know you went over and over again in all your conference calls, you stress hiring, employment is good, inflation is running down. It just seems like a halcyon time. But we always know it's a bank, but we always know, but we do feel, when I read you, you're very optimistic.
Listen, what I know is what we see. We have the facts in front of us, and the facts are the consumer has been extremely resilient. Consumer spend still continues to go up at a very measured pace, both in debit card and credit cards. When you look at deposit balances are still strong. Credit quality is still performing extremely well. Corporations went into this environment with very, very strong balance sheets. And so the facts are that things look pretty good, and the Fed has done a great job of managing this down under circumstances that people said were extremely difficult. So that's what we see. And so, yeah, we're pretty optimistic. We're conscious of the risks that exist in the world. We don't sit here and say risks don't exist. But what we see looks pretty strong.
Okay, I imagine when you came in, there were things that you probably didn't even know, consent decrees that you didn't even know about, and you have been in a true Teddy Roosevelt arena situation. Did you ever think, when you were at Visa, JP Morgan, that you would be hectored, that people would say, this man is doing the wrong thing, and these were people who, there were only 100 of them, and a bunch of them are trained on you?
Listen, I understand why people were critical of Wells Fargo. And again, my mission in coming here was to change that dialogue. And the easiest way to change the dialogue is not for me to give a speech, but it's to actually show the results. And so that's what I think we're doing. And again, I feel great about the progress that we've made and have great confidence that we've got the ability to put these things behind us.
So you think you're able to preserve the greatness of this institution, historic institution, and at the same time lay off the people you have to do and make things compliance friendly and also simple. These are all things that you like. You like that challenge.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what time do you wake up? When do you go to bed? What time do you? I mean, this is not the usual challenge for a banker.
Listen, my job isn't the hardest in the world, right? When you look at what other people do at this company, they've got hard jobs. Because again, I know you talk a lot about me, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I do.
But this is we have 220,000 people. I have a great management team. We have 17 people on the operating committee. 13 are new to the company since I joined. The other 4 are new jobs. It is a great team. We work extraordinarily well together. Everyone is dedicated, and I'd pit this management team against any other financial institution in the world.
And your board, you have a lot of people who worked at other banks. Mm-hmm. It seems like an operational board. It's not a board that looks like a university that I know.
No, our board is deeply involved in what goes on at the company. And, they provide the oversight that they should provide. They challenge us. As you point out, we've got, board members that have been at other large financial institutions. They've experienced many of these things. And we gain great insights by the experiences they have and the way that they push us. But they're supportive when they should be supportive, and they challenge us when they should challenge us. And that's, I think, if you're a shareholder, exactly what you want in a board.
What do you tell them about what you think the Fed's going to do about interest rates? Do you care about the quarter half? Is that just the horse race that we talk about, and you laugh and say, why can't those guys think of something better to do?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, do we care about the quarter? Absolutely, because we care about our shareholders.
Right.
And that's why,
And so you have to have a view on interest rates.
Absolutely. But at the same time, I just also want to point out that the market can obsess on a quarter more so than we would. I mean, take last quarter versus this quarter. Right. Last quarter, stock reacted badly. This quarter, stock reacted well.
Were you shocked? No, we talked.
It's the same.
It was going to be good.
It's the same company. The trends are not dramatically different. The things that we've been doing to build the business, the progress that we've been making haven't changed all that much.
Weren't you surprised that you said you were going to do something, you then did it, and your stock's up the most of any bank? I mean, what were people expecting? Well, you said exactly what you were going to do.
I do think, credibility is important, and if you say something, you should deliver. And we do believe strongly in that. Unless something has changed, in which case we got to tell people something is different, and here's why. But when people listen to us, your word is credibility out there, and it's just like the reputation of a company. It takes a long time to build, and it takes a very short time to lose, and we understand that.
All right, now. Speaking of that, I always felt that one of the beacons for San Francisco could be Wells Fargo. But we're at Hudson Yards. I don't see like an Embarcadero here. I mean, what about San Francisco?
San Francisco is still incredibly important, as is California. Listen, we're a national company.
Right.
We have over 10,000 people in Minneapolis. We have over 10,000 people in Des Moines. We have over 10,000 people in the state of California. We have over 20,000 people in North Carolina. I think we've got 4,000, 4,500 people here in New York. And that's not my doing. That's just what this company is. And so, we go where the talent is. We travel around all the time, and it works for us.
Do you have to worry about who gets selected in the fall?
Listen, you always think about that. But, we're going to work with both sides. And
you have a contingency plan, one or the other?
I'm encouraged by
Blue team, red team?
I'm encouraged by what both candidates are saying about the way they want to interact with business.
That's certainly more positive. I would not think. I think the current regime has been very tough on business. So perhaps, have you talked to Tony West at all? Talked to any of the Vice President Harris's people who really understand business?
I would say that both myself and people in this industry do engage with people on both sides of the aisle, whether they're current or future. And as I said, I think that there is a desire to make sure that the private sector is helpful as the country moves forward.
Okay, 5 years ago, came in right about now. What's this bank look like 5 years from now?
Well, listen, we want to be America's greatest bank.
You want to be America's greatest bank?
That's who we want to be.
You mean
Absolutely.
like it was before
Absolutely.
the destruction of the America's greatest bank?
That's who we want to be. Listen,
but I mean, when it was the Buffett Bank, when John Stump came on my show and he talked about the buck stopped there, but it hadn't, you could see that a once great bank was no longer great. You can get that bank to where it was before that?
Listen, our customers love doing business with us. Our customers want to do more with us. They're giving us that opportunity. And as I said, I think this is one of the great jobs at one of the great financial institutions. And I'm incredibly excited to be able to get from where we were to where we are today, but even more excited about what the future holds.
I like that message. Let's stop there. Charlie Scharf, Wells Fargo President and CEO. Thank you, Charlie.
Coming up, it's about time to talk the global luxury market. Watch the clock. Cramer's exclusive with Swiss watchmaker Breitling. Next. Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.